we need to take a more proactive role and a broader view of our responsibility. It's not enough to just build tools. We need to make sure that they're used for good. And that means that we need to now take a more active view in policing the ecosystem and in watching and kind of looking out and making sure that all of the members in our community are using these tools in a way that's going to be good and healthy.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg admits that his company didn't do enough to protect user privacy from preventing fake news, foreign interference, or even hate speech. So now the question is, what are they going to do about it? Is Facebook solely responsible for finding solutions, or will we see government intervention, or ultimately, will it involve you, the user, getting a piece of the action? Here with me now to discuss, Kristen Ruby, a social media expert, Ruby Media Group president, Chris Miglino, he's CEO and founder of SRAX, and Kurt Knudsen, the cyber guy, our tech expert. Hey, Kurt, let me start with you. You've come down pretty hard on these social media companies before. Everyone's lauding the performance of Mark Zuckerberg. But, you know, we still have a lot of holes in what's going on here. I don't know that a lot of answers were offered there.
I think the robot did a really lovely job. Whoever put the new batteries in the back of Zuckerberg, it was working fine. And he really recited a lot of the manual that you would have received if Facebook published one. On the other end, senators that clearly were not that tuned in as you and I might be to the online network of Facebook, and really softball questions coming at him. And then when he didn't want to answer, did you notice? Just time and time again. Oh, thank you very much, Senator Charles Payne. Yeah. I will get with my people and they'll get back with you. Yeah, he did nothing. He did nothing to answer critical questions. He did nothing to address what's really going on with some level of transparency in the future with our private personal data. Yeah. So I'm not impressed with what he did. I think he's slick, and I think he was prepped really well. And our congressional and our senators need to really step up the game. There's no doubt. In fact, Congress cut him off every time he tried that today to run out the clock. Of course, they only have 4 minutes compared to 5, so they really had to press the issue. But what's going to so the consequences of this? Because obviously the stock is up big in the last 2 days. Wall Street doesn't believe there'll be any sort of tough regulations as a consequence, at least of the last 2 days.
I don't think that, we're going to see regulations in the short term, and I actually disagree. I thought that he handled himself very well, and I think that, Congress is basically tech literate here. I was really disappointed. They had a huge opportunity to grill him and to come down hard on him, and I didn't see a lot of that happening here, Charles.
Well, but you just probably made the point, though, right, that they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Although, to that point, at least he prepared. It was pretty obvious that they weren't prepared.
Exactly. How is that okay? How can they not understand what Facebook is? How can they be bringing up, is Face Mash still, available, something from 10 years ago? Yeah.
Chris, one of the recurring themes yesterday and today was perhaps the notion that users could get a piece of the action. I think all the questions go away. I think all the concerns about privacy fade away if users were able to say, hey, we want to be able to get in the, you're monetizing me. Can I get a piece of the action? And this is something you're working on.
Yeah, we think it's an important part of the whole ecosystem. We think that consumers should be rewarded for their data. I think last 2 days have been 2 days of advertising for everything that we've been advocating for the last year. And so we think that if consumers were getting paid, all these breaches would not be a big deal because they'd want to be selling their data to the people that would be buying. I don't know how much Russian data would be buying consumers and paying them for it, but I think that consumers need to get rewarded. And the stakes are high here for Facebook. If the Congress decided to go down the route of Europe, it's a big change.
They brought that up a couple of times, Kristen. I think right now what we've got for Zuckerberg, he might have gotten off here, but the sword of Damocles is over his head. The next big data breach, the next time there's something like this, the hammer's going to come down hard. So do you think maybe they'll make some early concessions? Yesterday it was suggested that the industry come up with some standards.
I'm hoping that they make these concessions, and most of all, most importantly, I'm hoping they follow up on everything that he said he'd get back to them on, which was a list of at least over 50 things today and yesterday combined that he said he would do. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. And Chris, I like your idea the best. Maybe we all can get a piece of the action and we'll all live happily ever after. Kurt, we're out of time, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We'll bring you back real soon. Meanwhile, more.